Hello everyone, thanks for joining the session. In today's week, we will be discussing more about your hardware wallet or cold wallet or how we can choose which hardware wallet is suitable for us and what are the real world hacks and attacks which we have to be aware of because everyone is using banks at the moment. Even if you want to store fiat, you analyze the bank and based on your pros and cons, you choose the safest one. So last month, one of the member has pinged me and asked, okay, which hardware wallet I'm using. So I cannot answer it because I use a lot of them, but we will try to see what are the hardware wallets available and based on our scenarios, what could be the reason which wallet we should choose for. So before that, that would be an interactive session. So first we will note down the companies you might be aware of, which are providing hardware wallets. And then we will try to analyze few of them and we'll see what are the faults may occur and what are the things you should be aware of it. Even if you want, I can give you an example as well. Like you might be using Android phones. I believe most of them would be using that. Even if you click one link, I can able to tell you which mobile you are using, what is the charge of your battery at the moment, which browser you are using, what is the version of your Android, what is the version of your Linux kernel which you are using at the moment, and whether if your battery is going to die or not. All those information you will able to find it out. You may ask, no, it is not even possible. But if someone wants to try, I can share the link. You can just click on the link and I will tell you what mobile phone and all those things you guys are using. So you can do all those things using Kali Linux, but let us suppose you are not a techie person and then also you want to check. So there is a Grabify IP logger. If you made an account, share someone a link, and if someone click on that link, because you can send to anyone and it can tell you which mobile phone you are using, which I can show it to you right now as well. So just give me a second. I just need to find it out if I have any previous login details or any fake one. Okay, let me see if it is working. Yes. Okay, so it's fine. Hope the password is correct. Oh my. Okay, it is asking for the email address. Okay, I'm not able to log in at the moment because either I don't have the correct email. Let me just double check. Or what I can do, it's in the launch itself. I can share you one link. I'm not sure whether you are going to click on it or not. I'm just going to share you. It is you just try it, and I will tell you what are your device details if you want to check. I'm not gonna hack your phone, so don't worry. Just give me a second. Let me log into my another laptop. Just one second. I think my screen is visible now, right? I'm okay. So I just shared the link. Is anybody okay to? Okay, one second. Just give me a second, guys. I just need to find the correct link because that is very important because you need to know what are the things can be done if we are just clicking on one link. So I'm just giving you a spoof wiki link. It won't do anything. So I hope you are able to see the link. If anyone is okay, this is just for a recruitment website, right? Can anyone click if anyone is okay? Okay, someone liked it, and I guess someone might have. Uh, Let me see if someone have clicked it or not. So I see someone have clicked it, and okay. So someone from Africa, uh, he just used the Chrome browser. He's using an iPhone, and the Mac version is 10.15.7. Mozilla version is 5.0, and that is a Mac Intel. I think I also have more details, but I don't want to share. If anyone who has clicked it, is it correct information which I have shared it to you? I think the location is from Nigeria. Yeah, and yes,
Yeah.
it is an Intel Mac. So I think the old Mac, not the new one, not M1, M2, M3, right? Even I can see the screen size and all those things, even the OS version and all those things. So what I'm trying to say, even I can, because right now I'm not using Kali Linux, but I can also able to tell you how much battery is left and all those things I could able to see and tell. Even I think it is M2 Pro, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And screen size, I can also see. Yeah, okay. So what I'm trying to convey is just by clicking a link, I can able to tell you a lot of things. So even let us suppose I want to hack Digant. What I can do is I can share the link with Digant. Digant just click on that link and I got to know, okay, Digant has only 10% battery left. So this is the right time for me to hack. So these info, they can get it easily just by clicking. Okay. Now we will come back to the hardware wallets. That's why we try to store our keys in cold wallet and hardware wallet. How many people are using hardware wallet right now? And can you name few of them which you already know whether you are using or not? We will try to analyze those and we will see which one is safer or what are the things we have to look for. So we will not specify the company and all those things. We will try to see what technology they are using, whether they are safe enough to store our long-term investment or not. So, okay. Can anybody tell few names? Or I can write few of them.
Z,
Uh, Sorry, can you repeat again?
Z, Z plus,
Z plus
Jade,
plus
one JADE, Jade.
JADE.
Yeah, Blockstream Jade.
Okay. Oh, box. Okay, okay. Bitbox, you are saying, right? Block stream. Okay, okay. Block stream J plus. Yes. Okay. So, okay. Even if you might, if
Actually, not Z plus. It is only Jade.
okay,
Blockstream
they are
Jade.
two. Yeah, they are two one, and
Yeah.
I think Jade had
It was the older one.
some issue. Yes, there were some vulnerability recently. I think few months ago, and they have just resolve it in the Blockstream
Yes.
as well. So Blockstream Jade was having some vulnerabilities. Okay, so we will try to discuss Trezor. first. So because the treasure was the first one, I think if I'm not wrong, in 2014 they made this model one, which got hacked. You will able to find so many vulnerabilities on YouTube. So one thing is common in all the hardware levels. What is the one thing? That is pin. I think most of them would agree, right? Most of the hardware wallets are protected by pin. It could be a 4 pin, 6 pin, and in treasure case, I am not wrong. If in 16 attempts you can try it, or maybe it might be less, but earlier it was 16 attempts. The same way, all the hardware wallets has some kind of attempt fixed. Like these are certain kind of attempts you can try, and you can able to access the hardware wallet. So what generally happens, there are so many ways you can, because let us suppose if your pin is 4 digit pin, it is not possible to crack 4 digit pin in 16 attempts, right? But there are so many ways you can able to crack it. One is a side channel analysis. So what does it mean? How, for that you have to understand how a device matches whether the password is correct or not, or the pin is correct or not. Okay, so let us suppose I should not talk about Trezor, but okay, let's take there is a company named ABC. They have a pin set for 2345. Okay, any firmware engineer or any hardware engineer, what they can do the side channel analysis. So what happens in that, you can scan the chips. Yeah, foundation passport is also one of them. Cold card, yes. Jade. Okay. So what generally, because you have to understand how hardware works, then you will able to know how it can be cracked. So side chain analysis means, let us suppose I am pressing 2. So microcontroller, or I should say hardware wallet, will check whether the first digit is correct or not. And if it is correct, it will send some different signal. And if it is incorrect, it sends different signal internally. What I'm trying to say is, then it is very easy for me to crack. Let us suppose, because it makes the complexity little less. I just try to press 2. I keep checking the hardware signal internally. And if internal signal, because I can see, because I don't know which one is the correct signal, which one is the wrong signal, but it's very easy to find it out. Like you try 2, you try 3, you try 4. If 3, 4 is showing the similar kind of signal and 2 is different, that means definitely 2 is correct. So this way, the complexity would be very, very less, and you may able to easily crack this thing. But the problem is attempt is only 16, then also you will not able to do it. So what you need to do is, how this 16 attempts works. So wallet always count how many times you are trying and update the counter. Okay, just like you update some counter, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now always think hardware as a human being. So if someone is counting, what you can do, so he can forget the counting. So the one way you can do is, you can interrupt him. So if let us suppose Rajendra is counting, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, and I would interrupt some way. Maybe he will forget two, three counts and he will again start counting from zero. The same thing happens with the hardware as well. So in 16 attempts, how those model 1 they were able to crack, you might be thinking because model 1 was also having the pin phrase. But how they were able to crack is they were able to fool the microcontroller that the 16 attempts has not been done yet. So how you can do is either you can give very little voltage supply, so they don't have enough power to increase the counter. So that is the one way. And second way is you can send some kind of signals. So the hardware wallet will get disturbed and he will not count the things properly. This way, they will able to find it out the correct pin. And if you know, like if you are able to find it out the correct pin, then you can able to get all those coins which is inside the hardware. Means you can get the access of the keys, and if you have the access of the key, you can do whatever you want. Anyone has any question or anything they can ask? Otherwise, I can move ahead. So this is one way through which the Model 1 and Model T, because those don't have the security element chip. So there are multiple ways, like sidechain analysis is one way. Then I have told you you have to send some signals so people will forget, just like the hardware wallet will forget. So that is nothing but the fault injection. You send some signals, so it will forget what he was counting for. And if you have unlimited attempts, definitely you are gonna crack it. Because if you have unlimited attempts, you can just write a script which will keep trying 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same way it will keep doing and it will be able to do that. That's why people started using secure element chip. But is it safe enough? No. Because if you are using secure element chip, then the code would be closed source. And why we need open source code? Like why everyone says the code should be open source. If it is not open source, then maybe you should avoid using it. Anyone has any idea why we say this thing or any opinion?
Yes, because if it is open source, then everyone who knows those codes and can see if any vulnerability is there or not. There are many eyes which are going to see through those codes. And if it is a closed source code, then means if those vulnerabilities will not be found out.
Correct. And the second thing is, if you are only reviewing the code, you will never able to find the loopholes which you already did. There should be always another eyes who can only find the back doors which you are not, because if you itself were able to find it out, then in the first place you should not able to do it, right? So if you have some hidden back doors, open source code prevents those hidden back doors. Means if you are not able to catch it, someone else will catch it and it will report it there. So that's why most of the company earlier was not using any kind of secure element chip. But as I mentioned, there are these things and sidechain analysis and all those things you can easily able to implement if the secure element chip is not there. And people were able to crack all those hardware wallets. That's why all the hardware wallets started using secure element chip. But the problem is, if anyone is using secure element chip, that is good or not, this you have to verify it. So if you are looking for any hardware wallet, first look for the open source code. Look for open source secure element chip. Why I'm saying this? Because I have worked in few fiat companies where we also use the secure element chip. You can never believe the certification which they have. Because what generally happens, even they have vulnerabilities, they will not tell you, and you will also not able to check it. So let us suppose I am giving an example. Let us suppose I have purchased the secure element chip from TI. So there are multiple companies which offer that, multiple semiconductor companies like uh, STM Electronics provides that, TI also provides that, and Infineon Technologies that also provide that. So if they are offering the secure element chip, their team internally knows how this secure element chip works. And if there is such kind of loophole, they internally would be aware. Like if you might have seen in 25th December what has happened. So I'm not sure. Does anyone know about the Trust Wallet? So Trust Wallet is a hot wallet. And in that, what has happened? In 25 December or in 24 December, some of the person from the company itself, he has pushed some changes, and because of that changes, people have lost $7 million in the same day. Because the trust wallet, someone who is working in the trust wallet, who is the employee of Binance or trust wallet, he was able to push some kind of code, hidden code. And once he put the latest update on this Chrome extension, so who were using Chrome extension, the person was able to access all the seed phrases from them. And because of that, people lost all those currencies. So if the secure element chip is itself is not open source, then it is also little hard to believe. But what we will do, because most of the companies who is providing the secure element chip, are there any example instance where this has happened? Tracking the wallet by supplying low voltage in fault? Yes, it has happened. I can share you the link. Or what you can do is just go to YouTube and you can search for Treasure Model 1 app. You can find the full video of this guy. He was able to crack the things through using sidechain analysis. And you can find some other videos as well. And if you are not able to find it out, just ping me. I can share you. So this has happened many times. Even not with cryptocurrencies or not with the hardware wallets, even if you want to hack the smartwatches, if you want to hack the mobile phone, you can able to hack all kinds of things using the side chain analysis. So this is not new just for the hardware wallet. This was previously using for all those devices which you are using. If you just want to check the pin, you can able to crack it. You have to, means you should be having a good knowledge about the hardware. What generally happens, I can tell you like how hardware do the things. If you can imagine how hardware do the things, you can easily able to crack it. So it increase the counter. So if you know it, if it is increasing the counter, that time you can reduce the voltage. And if there is no proper clock and voltage, it is not able to count it, and you will able to do it unlimited times. And that has happened. So you will find so many blogs and videos about it. Sidechain analysis is also one way through that you can check whether what you are entering is correct or not. So let us suppose the pin is 2345 and you are not, because let us suppose if I don't know whether the combination is 2345 or 1234, it is very complex. I have to use all those uh, combination permutation and combination I have to use, right? But if I tried for the first two, three, four, and I got to know three, four signal is same, two is signal is different, and for all signal is same, that means two is the correct one. So I now the complexity go reduced because now I have just three words to try. So I will try with then again one, two, three, and if three matches, then I again with four, then five. That's why people stop using or storing those pin on the microcontrollers, on the hardware wallets. They are using the secure element chip where you can store it because now the communication which happens through secure element chip is designed in such a way that will reduce this kind of hack. So the side chain channel analysis or fault injection attacks, it will never happen. You cannot do voltage glitching because if you will do, then secure element itself will not work, and then even if he's entering the pin, that will not take as a enter. So that's why people started using that. Now we will move back and we will see, okay, what are the company we have mentioned and should we go with those companies? And based on, let us suppose everyone has a different kind of use. Like maybe someone might be putting $1 million. Some person is just putting 50,000. Some might be putting only $10,000, right? So you have to choose accordingly which one would be okay for you. So first thing is it should be open source. Second, secure element chip should be there. And that also comes with ELA security. So you will see some could comes with 3, 4, 5, 6. Anything above 5 or 5 is good because whatever the credit card and all those things you are using, that also comes with a secure element chips, and that also have the EL plus security. It could be ELF, EL5. So anything 4, 5, 6 is okay. That thing you have to check. Then third thing, if they have mentioned the company at least of the secure element chip. Let us suppose someone is mentioning the chip is from Infineon or from Texas Instrument or from STM Electronics. You can search about it whether there is any vulnerabilities there or not for that. That is the fourth thing you are going to do. Then the most important thing, it should be tamper proof because if I need to do site chain analysis, I can able to do it without opening the device as well sometimes. Even if I perform this laser fault injection and maybe a deep level of site chain analysis, then I have to somehow temper the whole device, and then all those keys should get vanished when someone is doing that. So these things also we need to make sure this is happening. Now we will see all the popular companies, what are the advantage and disadvantage. So we will get a better idea. So Trevor, we have already discussed. Someone mentioned foundation passport. See, if you just want, I would say cold card and foundation has very top notch security. This is my personal opinion. And because what I have seen, it is very hard to crack cold card and it is very hard to crack foundation devices as well. But I don't like the user interface of the foundation. So if you are tech savvy and want to use a cold wallet just for Bitcoin and can able to do configuration well, use cold card. Otherwise, people may say like, okay, we have to scan the QR code and all those things. Yes, that is also very nice things, but sometimes it is not very practical. I would recommend, because what I personally use, like maybe I will be having many wallets, but one wallet maybe I'm using for my daily transaction. If I'm doing, let us suppose if someone is going to Europe and if want to do all those transactions, maybe he might be using a different wallet. And one wallet he will not or never touch, in which he is putting all his savings. If you are kind of a guy who is putting all his saving, then maybe use cold card or foundation kind of devices. But if you don't want complexity, then you can find some other one as well. So Trezor is also good because they have open source one. Then one more thing I want to add, Tangem. See, usability wise, Tangem Ring, yes, very good. But the problem is if you will not able to verify your transaction, means what I'm trying to say is if you cannot verify whom you are going to send your Bitcoin and how much Bitcoin you are going to send, then it is not a cold wallet because you are still relying on the app which is either on the mobile phone or in the laptop. So I will never recommend those wallets which don't have a screen, because if you don't have a screen, you can never able to verify. People say that the new device which came that does not have a screen, but I will not prefer any hardware wallet which don't have a screen, because if I can't verify the transaction in the device itself, I will not take it. So it might be good for daily use. Let us suppose you are just putting uh, a very small amount and you want to use it, you can do that. Can anybody hack it? No. But as I mentioned you, like Android phones or iPhones are very easy to hack. In just one click, as we have seen, I can see all the information. I just need to run a small script in Kali Linux and I can get more information, like even the battery percentage as well. And even if I want to inject something, I can also do that if he is running the JavaScript enabled on the Chrome. Just the person have clicked through Chrome. If I can add some more malicious thing, I can able to download internally something, and maybe if he's not checking, he can do anything. Okay, so that can things can happen. Then maybe people will say, okay, which phone we have to use? I would say use the Googled phone or use a Linux. There is a Ubuntu Touch. I'm personally using. So if you are using, no one gonna hack. If I'm clicking the same link from my mobile phone, I have tried it. Uh, that thing is not getting updated because that will only work well with iOS and Android and not with some other kind of browser or operating system which are privacy focused. Now, one thing I have mentioned that you have to always check the company which is making the secure element chip. So what this why we have to focus on the secure element chip? The thing is, I am not sure if you are aware of, because I was working in the telecommunication company and like, okay, if I'm not sure whether any of you might be aware of, there was a chip from USA that was a Clipper chip. It was in 1990s, if I am not wrong. Let me search it. Okay, yes. So people may argue, okay, why someone will make the secure element chip which can be hacked because the brand value will go down, right? So in 1995, oh, in 1990s, US NSA announced one chip that means there was a Clipper chip. You might be thinking what Clipper chip is. So in 1990s, you might have used the telephone, right? The not the mobile phone, the normal telephone, which we used to call someone and do the communication, right? Voice communication. So in that, most of the I'm pretty sure people are aware of AT&T. Uh, that is just like Airtel, Geo in India. AT&T is in a telecommunication or telephone operator in US. They were providing all the telephone with Clipper chip, and there was a inside code or loophole was there or the backdoor was there. Like if US governments wants to listen what you are trying to communicate, because what generally happens if you are using the telephone and if you're communicating with someone, that are encrypted communication. So people think, okay, what we are communication doing the communication, those are secure communication, but that is wrong because all 99% telephone was going to use the Clipper chip, and there was a back door for US government. If they want to decrypt what you are communicating with other, they can able to do that. So yes, maybe secure element chip vendor companies like Texas and STM Electronics will not do because they will not get any benefit. But if let us suppose these are US based company or someone are China based companies, if Chinese government would say, okay, put something on this, so we can able to trace what these guys are doing. So they can do that. So you have to do all things in your mind when you are choosing the right hardware wallet. Before I move further, anyone has any doubts till here or any question, any doubts you might be thinking you should ask? But what if we use old iOS or Android phone without the device connected to the internet anytime? Isn't the attack vector of remote configuration just not possible with this approach? Yes. If you're not using internet, okay, so I will tell you one thing. Are you using Android on iOS? Then even if your Wi-Fi is off, people will able to use your Wi-Fi. You might be thinking, is it even possible? Yes, it is possible. I think 99% of the people here might be using Google Maps. Anyone knows why Google Maps is very so much faster than other open source maps available? Because they use internal Wi-Fi scanning, internal Bluetooth scanning. So even if you want to see, just go on Google, search about Wi-Fi scanning, go to your setting and see whether your Wi-Fi scanning and Bluetooth scanning is on or not. By default, whatever Android or iOS device you are going to purchase, everyone have Wi-Fi scanning on or Bluetooth scanning on. Even your Wi-Fi is off or even your Bluetooth is off. So they will able to find your location. But yes, if you are not using any SIM card or if you are not using any Wi-Fi or anything, it is very hard to hack. But if someone would get physical access of your phone, then he can able to hack the device. Hope you. What about the feature phone? Feature phone cannot be see in feature phone if we are not using internet it cannot be hacked, but it is similar like the treasure model one. So as treasure model one can be hacked if someone got access physically, the feature phone can easily be hacked because there is no secure element chip inside on the feature phone. So ideally, it can be hacked easily. Similar ways how people have done Model 1 or Model T. Anyone has what if the seed phrase is encrypted? See, they don't need to know the seed phrase. If I got the access of the hardware wallet, I don't need to know your seed phrase, right? If I able to guess your PIN, I can able to do the transaction. So what I believe, like in this scenario, because seed phrase people look for once they are doing the remote hacking, because they will get to access of your seed phrase, then they will able to log in it and they will able to use it. But yes, I don't need your seed phrase. I just need your sign. Yes. So if you are able to crack the pin, now you have access and you can able to use your hardware wallet. Okay, so we added a feature to transaction. You need to put in the encryption key. I'm not sure about this, but I just need to analyze it. Because we just need to check the feature, then only we can say. But you need to put in the encryption key to sign a transaction. See, if the encryption key can also be hacked, so anything you are doing, the communication can be hacked using sidechain analysis or laser fault. So what generally happens? Okay, so we have discussed more about the sidechain analysis. I can give you more example of the laser analysis, how these things work. So maybe you will get a better understanding. So in laser fault, what happens? Let us suppose I open your brain. You might have seen this thing in. I hope you might have seen it either in the YouTube or if you might have seen it. What generally happens, like if some people can able to control your mind, right? Some people uh, use some pin, nail pin, and through that they can move your hands. I'm not aware of the methodology which they use, but I have seen it. The same way you can also do means you might be aware like someone is controlling your hand using some signals, but the hardware will never know. And that injection is the laser fault injection. So what generally you put, you just like you are putting a pin in 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 your some places, so your finger will move. The same way you just put the laser. So for that, what you have to do is, so this is chip. I can show you the chip. So all the uh, hardware wallets which you are seeing it, 99.99% comes with Cortex ARM Cortex M4 processor. I can show it to you right now. This type of processor would be there. And if I can open this, I can see this type of thing inside this. And what I can do is, I can manually send the signal using laser fault. But yes, normal person will not able to do it until unless people have this kind of machine or prototype, then only they can do it. You just need to open it, see all those components, put laser pulse, and what will happen, which is the right movement when chip is trying to see or compare the pin or the encryption key or something which you have put or extra two-factor authentication. That time you can do laser fault, and through that chip may operate what you want him to operate. So it might be possible, might not be possible, but it has happened with multiple hardware. So you can search about these thing or the topic and you will able to see so many hacks has happened using this. So it is even possible. I always have to provide my seed phrase, and the hackers will have the pin. They will not try to decrypt your encrypted seed phrase. And shit cracking the pin is super easy on feature phone. And I'm assuming you will be having a pin layer on top. And yes, means generally, see, the thing is the concept. You might be thinking why the concept of secure element chip came into the picture, because people were able to see what the microcontroller is doing, because microcontroller is normal brain. If people can understand whether you are lying or not, we have these detectors which see whether what you are saying is correct or not. For human beings, the brain is the most complex chip in the whole world. That just for a Cortex M, like $1, $2 chip, because it won't cost more. The Cortex M chips starts in $1. That chip can easily be hacked. That's why they try to put this secure element chip, which will take care of all the issues which I have discussed, like voltage glitching or laser pulse and all those things. But you have to make sure whatever the secure element chip you are going to use or the hardware wallet is using, that should be also secure. So always purchase a hardware wallet with a secure element chip. Second, it should be tamper proof because it will give you another layer. Like if someone wants to put these type of attacks, they will definitely try to open your phone or open your hardware wallet. And if he's trying to open the hardware wallet, and if you have make sure that once someone is trying to open the hardware wallet and that time you are erasing everything, then maybe you are adding one extra layer so that people will not able to hack the hardware wallet. Okay. Now I will just quickly cover the companies. So Trezor we have discussed, Tenzin we have discussed. I think Bitbox. So if you will ask me, I would say Cold Car, no doubt, very top-notch security. Then Foundation is also very good, but it is costly. Like if you will search Foundation devices, I think it would be very costly. So that is also a good thing, but it depends on person to person, right? Some person may invest $1,000, some may invest 500, some may only invest 40, $50, right? I have not tested Foundation. I have Trezor checked like Trezor Model T, Trezor Safe 3, Trezor Safe 5. Tanzam, but I don't prefer Tanzam. I have it just for fun purpose. But Tanzam, like you can do the basic transaction, but don't rely on it. Then Lizard, yes, which is very popular in India. Surprisingly, like Lizard is very popular in India. I would say Laser is also doing good, but the problem is it is not open source. So I think if they will make it open source, then maybe people can believe. But right now, if things are not open source, then maybe I will not give enough point to them. Uh, Another one, Bitbox. Bitbox is also very good. That is Swiss-based company. They have only two wallets, if I'm not wrong, and the second latest wallet is can be used with iOS, so that is also good. There are so many others, like I can talk about it. Let's talk about some. Okay, so there is one Indian brand as well. So if I'm not wrong, for Indian brand, I think you should watch this video, which I have posted it on. Okay, just in the mining channel. One second. Yes. So I can show it to you. So this video, I think you should see, and maybe then you will get a better idea like, okay, what type of devices you should not use. Because if someone is leaking your address and all those things, maybe then it will not be good enough for me to use it. There are so many others like one key. Okay, Elipal. This is also yes one company, but I will not recommend. Why? Because if even if you have purchased the wallet, what will happen? They were using the same app for the wallet and the cold wallet. And by default, the setup is for a hot wallet. So even if you are using a hardware wallet from Illipal, it was working as a hot wallet. So even if you're using a hardware wallet, it was not hardware wallet. If you want to search, you can search on Google. You will find so many blogs. Later, I think last year in 2025 in November, I believe they have made some changes that they made the app only for cold storage, but earlier it was. So if someone is doing this kind of mistake, I will not never believe those companies. One key is also one company that comes with multiple secure element chip. But I would say you might not require those three or four secure element chip. Definitely, if more secure element chips are there, it would be more and more secure because what they are going to do is maybe they are putting those pin on another secure element. If that got cracked, they are having a different one and they are using EL 6 plus security, if I'm not wrong. Even if you're using those, then this is also okay. If they are making sure that everything is open source. I think one key code is not open source. So you have to look for it. And if it is open source, you can try it. Then one thing people always say, I don't have a budget. I am just starting. So if I'm just starting, I will not put 10,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees or 20,000 rupees on one hardware wallet. There are so many because Trezor, even if you are purchasing, I think it would cost like if, even if you're purchasing Safe 5, uh, sometimes it's cost around 150, but the custom and all those things would like you have to pay the custom charges. So even if you're going to Europe, you can purchase it, but custom charges would be very. There is one more which I have also checked it out. That is from SafePal. Why I'm saying because that costed around uh, how much? 30 USD to me, and it would be 2,700 rupees. Okay. And it contains the secure element chip. It looks like keyboard, calculator, and it is also open source. And it has EAL 6 plus security, if I'm not wrong. So these type of devices, which comes with open source, I will give more points. Then, if those wallets are audited by independent agencies, then I will give more point. If they have EAL 5 plus, then I will give more point. If their wallet along with the firmware is also open source, then I will give more point. So what I'm trying to say is if you have money, want to invest more, go with cold card if you are able to use it. That is, looks like a calculator one. I can show it to you right now. And the most important thing from cold card is they don't never provide referral model. So that's why if you go to YouTube and search for maybe wallets review, what generally happens, you will see so many uh, wallets, right? Only see very few cold card. Why? Because I believe they do never provide anyone because I know few people they have also mentioned that cold card never provide referral or this kind of program. So that thing is very safe because they are not trying to uh, because whatever review you are saying, that might be a solid enough, and that is a very good open source Bitcoin only hardware wallet never hacked till now. There are so many others. Illipal got hacked, OneKey got hacked, Trezor got hacked, but Trezor without secure element chip. Trezor with secure element chip, I haven't seen anything right now. SafePal also did not got hacked till now. I was just looking for some information. I could not able to find it out.
Uh,
Bitbox,
can I
yeah,
say something?
yeah, please go ahead.
One more important thing is this that, for example, some hardware wallet is there. I can take the example of SafePal.
Mm-hmm.
So the SafePal, to use the SafePal, you have to use the application which is provided by the SafePal only. However,
Yes, this is
what I think, the application should be different. For example, if you are using Trezor, then you should use a different application to use the Trezor, not the Trezor application.
agree, and
Yes.
it should be interoperable. So interoperable
Yes,
means
yes.
if
Interoperability.
Trezor, yeah. So if I'm using Trezor, I could able to use the Sparrow wallet, and I could able to use Trezor Safe Suite. If I want to use different one, I can also able to use different. Unfortunately, with SafePal, this is not there. So you have to use the SafePal. And one more thing, like even if you're using these kind of, let us suppose you're using Trezor, I would always recommend don't add any other coin except Bitcoin. What will happen if you are not loading the equivalent firmware? The chances of hacking is very low. Because what generally do, people will say, okay, I will only use it for Bitcoin, but let me put uh, Solana as well. Let me put this as well, that as well, right? That will make your hardware wallet more vulnerable. So even if you make sure if you are using only for Bitcoin, then make sure even Trezor comes with the firmware, which is the Bitcoin only version. In that, you cannot add another uh, cryptocurrencies. So make sure you are not adding any extra. So whichever you are using, Bitcoin only, you have to add it that as well.
So Shivam, can you add the seed signer to the list also?
Seed signer is definitely a top-notch one. Why? Because it is a DIY. Because you can also make your seed signer and use that. But the problem is, uh, you have to technical enough to use the seed signer. So seed signer is one of the best if you are going to use it for your saving. But let us suppose, okay, if you don't want to purchase it from outside and you don't want to make your own DIY, then maybe go with others one. But Seed Signer is definitely the one because you can use ESP32 and you can do that. But the problem is, uh, I even I am also uh, a little technical person. I have used CSigner, but I have stopped using it. If you'll ask me why, because I don't believe in ESP32 community. You might say why, because everyone is using ESP32. The problem is ESP32 is not fully open source. So if you analyze it more, you will get to know the bootloader and all kind of things are not fully open source on ESP32. That's why people wants to use either STM32 or some other vendors in which you can tweak everything, including bootloader or everything. Everything should be open source. So that is only drawback I can see it, but definitely the top notch one I would recommend. Anyone has any question, anything? Let me see.
What about Blockstream Jade?
I would not recommend it. You might argue with me, but the problem is because they had recent vulnerabilities. I think maybe they have to make it more stable, then maybe I would recommend. I'm not saying you should not try it. Definitely try it, but don't put a lot of money on it.
Shivam, in Seek Signer, even though maybe some of the components might not be the open source, but
Mhm.
because there is like no Wi-Fi and Bluetooth reachability, so do you
Mhm.
still see the threat vector for that?
I still see that because the problem is if I believe in different methodology. I believe it cannot be only a virtual or remote attack, it could be a physical attack as well. So if someone will able to find that device physically, it should not able to crack it. With seed signer and all those things, I am not sure whether there is a vulnerability or not, but in
Yeah.
ESP32 it is very easy to tweak the things.
So
Mhm.
Shivam, Seedsign is a stateless device. So once you take out the SD card, it's completely flash. So one you have to every time put in your seed phrase to use the seed string. So if you take
Correct,
out the
but
SD card, if you are
yeah, but if someone will find that device, they I'm assuming he found everything physically. So if he found the SD card, he found the device, then he is able to do it, right? He should not able to do it even itself, right? Even someone find your mobile phone, someone find your charger, it should not happen like someone would able to crack your mobile phone. So I believe in this methodology, even someone is able to physically get those devices, it should not able to happen. Because virtually for all seed signers, yes, remotely no one can able to hack it. But the problem comes because you might have seen now people are getting threats and people know if people know you have a Bitcoin, if you will able to find the things physically, this is also one of the threats. And because you are putting your whole saving on it, you have to make sure it should not be hacked remotely as well as physically as well. Anyone has any question, any doubt? Because that would be interesting.
That
People have asked so many good questions. Yeah, please go ahead.
that leaves me with the hardware wallet, like
Sorry?
which is not reviewed. Cryobricks.
Cryobricks. I think yes. uh, Cryobricks is, I think one. I think it is better than this one, which I have shown you right now. I don't want to name that one, but I can show it to you right now. So I think Cryobrick is better than the Cypher Rock. Um, but yes, because they are doing a great job, but I think something they will be doing because as Alok mentioned, they are trying multiple things on top of it. I hope like they will able to do it and it should work
Alok, could you
like
want
a
to
charm.
share with the audience what Cryobrick is doing? Because like some of us might not be completely aware about it.
Yeah, so hello everyone. So what my goal was basically the same problems which Shivam said. I wanted a secure solution which was digitally and physically unhackable. So what problems I had was the price, and the second thing was the recognition of the device itself. So if I want to buy a hardware in India, it's cost almost double with the customs duties and the taxes and everything. Plus, if someone finds the hardware device, they know that it's something related to cryptocurrency. So I solved that problem digitally, but in the community, I found people who wanted a hardware solution also. So what is the best way to secure your Bitcoin without letting people know that you have something related to cryptocurrency, i.e., Bitcoin? So that is everyday objects. So yeah, cold card looks like a calculator, but it doesn't. There's something different about it. But a fee, so the second best thing, which is affordable, and you can use as a cold storage device, is a feature phone, which is recognizable all world over, but nobody associates it with a cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. So we made it possible that you can put a completely cold storage solution on a feature phone, which is uh, as secure as cold card. Right now we are working on it to make sure that the seed phrase at least is completely secure. We don't have a secure element yet. We are working on the version 2 or version 3 where as Shivam said, both the hardware and the software is open source. Right now the hardware is, so software will be completely open source. You can check it out. But again, we will make sure that the customers or the people who use them have fully open source solution where they can curate it to their own needs. So we don't have to. So even the app will be completely anonymous. People will won't be able to find the app itself. That's how we are making it. So if you go to our YouTube page or our Twitter page, you can see the first trial version which we did, where the app itself is also unrecognizable. So because we have named it, you can make out that it's an app related to something which we are making, CryoBrick. But if we change the name, even people will won't be able to know that it's something. So that is what our goal is with CryoBrick.
Yeah, these type. Yeah. One more thing I want to add. This is also a plus point. Like if some type of wallets is not looking like a wallet, that is also one thing you can avoid. Because people will not focus more on you. Like just like this is looks like. Uh, and yeah, the cold card is also don't look like a keyboard. I would say because it means it if someone had done engineering, he would say this is a calculator because this is a scientific calculator look like. Even the SafePal one also looks like calculator only. So I think SafePal, which one? So if these type of device you are purchasing, which is not very popular, secure, and should not look like a just like treasure laser, you can just by looking at a glance you can say this is a hardware wallet. Maybe this you will say okay, this is just maybe a calculator, or this is just a feature phone which someone is using just for calls. So these things also you have to keep in mind, and always have two or three. Buy some cheap ones, and maybe one is used, one purchase a better one which in which you can put a whole saving. And if you should not use that wallet in any place, either use the second or the third one and put some small like $100 $200. If you are like going to any other country and want to use or spend through Bitcoin, do that. But in those cases, don't touch the main one. Always use the second or the third one which you are trying to use. So yeah. Anyone have any question or anything? Or anyone is using hardware wallets, or if anyone has any doubts regarding that, like if this could even possible with the hardware wallet or this could not, maybe if I know, I can help you and I can tell you that could even be possible with the hardware or not. Or if no, then yeah, we
I'm
are good.